Hey, Sarah here. I think I look tired. Um, so it's Tuesday, and a couple days ago now, it's been a couple days, had a big experience in a breathwork session with the founder of SOMA Breath, where I felt, I think like I was blown wide open, right? But also it just was new and huge because, well, at one point I felt like I saw the future a little bit for myself. That was cool. And an, the big thing that happened was something about, uh, I realized it's not going to sound profound, but it is to me that I really need to give over. And I tried doing that during the meditation. Like, I like to even move physically during them. So, like, handing over to, I don't know, God, higher power, whatever, right? Um, like, it's not like I can verbally say exactly what I was handing over, but it was like this, okay, realization that, like, it really is time to change and hand over this pattern, this programming, right? Like we talk about in Soma Breath of like the programs that we downloaded as children. Um, so there's a certain one or ones that it's like I basically heard or kind of realized in that breathwork session that like it's time, right? Time to hand over that programming that like is tough to hand over. I think we all have that. Um, like the ones that are hard to let go of. And so, but to move forward, I need to. Yeah. And so it's interesting what happened right from today's perspective. I'm like, oh, yeah, I could see how that happened. But at the time, I was like, what the heck? Because it was so amazing, right? Like, it really, it really blew me away. It really had quite the experience there. Uh, Very exciting, very ecstatic. And then, but I crashed from that, and that's what I didn't expect. And now that this happened, I'm like, okay, yeah, I would know to like not be surprised next time if it went that way. And I guess I kind of already know from like my work in Isha Judd system that like after an expansion comes a contraction, you know? And also I needed to do some parts work, which I did yesterday. And it's like there's a part in me that's going to fight that, right? Fight letting go. And um yeah, yeah, so a contraction and like anger, depression, like high to low really quickly to the point where I'm like, wait, was that real? What happened? But it was. It was real. And it makes sense to me now, like that it would trigger that. Um, so that's what I'm going through. Still moving through it, but just understand it a bit more and have moved some of it through the parts work to understand that part a little better. It's still not very coherent or verbal, like I'm talking about it, but it's a very, like I've really retreated to like, um, yeah, I just have really retreated. Uh, but it's cool that I can also observe myself doing that. Yeah, and give love to that part that is just really scared. So what else did I want to share? That might be it. I may have forgotten stuff, but that's sort of like the most coherent it can be today. Yeah, I'm glad that I understand it to that degree and that I experienced that amazing expansion. And also, oh, I wanted to share. So in my breath work, I mean, to the point, the contraction was super strong to the point where I like almost didn't even want to do my breath work. I think it scared me. And like, but I did it. And, because I wanted to feel good, right? Like, what the heck? And I love how new thoughts come to me and answers and stuff and inspiration. That's what's so cool about SOMA Breath, right? Um, and one thought that came to me today was contract. I think, where'd it go? Yeah, the contraction is beautiful too. The contraction is beautiful too because it's quite ugly, right? And like, I remember a facilitator in Isha Judd's system talking about like being in the contraction and like I don't know if he was saying like you don't have to be afraid of it. You can just sort of like observe the gross like muck and I was trying to do that. And so I feel this touches me a little bit. I feel proud of myself for because when I contract, like it's like panic, right? And like I want to do addictive behaviors. I want to, it's like night and day. Negative, self-hating and uh what do I want to say about that? I think it's really cool that I remembered what this facilitator said and could also sort of do it. Like, yeah, I'm in the muck, and also after a little bit of time, right? I can just be in the muck, and it doesn't have to feel so dramatic or so scary. I'm not out of it yet, but like I can observe it, and also I'm like, oh, because it's always a gift. Like in hindsight, I always see the gift. So now it's happened so many times that I understand this is a gift. Like even before I fully resolve it, it's like it's a gift and a beautiful time. Maybe this touches me of like being ready to let go of that. And I can't even like tell you exactly what it is, but I kind of know, and maybe I'm just not ready to like verbalize or um, I mean, so that's kind of beautiful. Yeah. So I was like fighting, and then I don't know. So things I'm not out of it, right? So I still have sort of like a depressive kind of a filter and but like it's all beautiful and it's all okay and and I just know it's a gift and like a time of growth and that I've hit something, right? Um so I'm really grateful that I didn't like go drink or go, I don't know, you name it, right? Like some negative behavior. I did eat some junk food. So what? Um Yeah, watch some Netflix. I usually don't like to waste my time on that kind of stuff or dark stuff or anymore. Uh, but to have this understanding right now of kind of what that is, instead of just like having no idea what's happening, it feels I'm proud of myself. It's beautiful to be able to see. Yeah, so maybe that's enough for today, and I can share more as I see how it unfolds. But yeah, I guess what I was wanting to say is I feel more at peace, more I can see going through the stages of something, right? It's not could be grief, grief of having to let go of this. The computer's gonna die. Um, but yeah, it's almost like those grief stages. So like anger and depression and yeah, and now I feel like I'm moving towards at least like acceptance, peace, I don't know, bravery. Um, it's beautiful because I'm going to give myself the time and space to be sad about it and to say bye to it and yeah, like not rush the process. So I notice that like I said, retreat and I don't trust anyone, right? And but I also see myself today caring for me in that. So that's beautiful. I keep saying I'm going to wrap it up and then I don't. Um, yeah. Okay. So if anybody's listening, if anybody has, I don't know, what are you going through? Do you relate to this? Have you that idea of like expansion and then contraction, or growth or letting go of like a big program, really changing in order to support your leap, because I'm like living at this higher vibration a lot of the time. And, my life has gotten really good. And then there's still some like programming that I think will have to go, like delete, um, in order to be able to live at that higher vibration. So, anyway, if anybody can relate to any of this, I would love to hear your story or thoughts or yeah, yeah, like how this applies to you, basically. Have a great day.